Hello foodies, welcome to another video. In today's video I'm going to show you how to make masa from scratch. So please don't forget to subscribe, like, comment and share. So here are all the ingredients we're going to need. About 2 cups of sugar, 2 tablespoons of salt, 11 cups of white rice, some onions, baking powder and 3 tablespoons of yeast. So let's begin. You're going to start by measuring out your rice. I used 11 cups of white rice. Then you're going to wash it really clean to remove any sand and debris. So after washing it, take out 2.5 cups of rice. You're going to cook these 2.5 cups of rice and then you're going to soak the rice. So take out 2.5 cups of rice, then soak the remaining rice for at least 2 hours. I soaked mine overnight, so you can do from 2 hours to 12 hours. Then you're just going to cook the 2.5 cups you took out normally, like you normally cook your white rice, and you're going to let that cool down. So this is the next morning. I'm just going to cut up some onions that I'll be using to blend the masa. Use a good blender for this. If you don't have a good blender, just take it to the grinders, let them help you blend it. But if you do, you're going to just mix the soaked rice, then you're going to add in your cooked rice, you're going to add in some onions and then a little water to cover your rice, and then you're going to blend. So this is my rice that has cooled down. I'm just going to add that to my soaked rice, and then I added some of the onions, and that's it. We're going to blend this into a smooth paste, and then let me show you how it looks. So this is it. It's a little watery, but I still have a lot of rice. So at the end of this video, you'll see how the consistency should be. Make sure you're not adding too much water so that it won't be too runny at the end of the day. Just make it a little thick, and it shouldn't be too thick as well. So I'll show you when I'm done blending everything. So if you've reached this part of the video, please give this video a thumbs up, and you can tell me where you're watching. So I'm done blending, and this is what we have at the end of it. Now I'm going to take half cup of water, and you should use a bigger cup. Add 3 tablespoons of yeast into that, and then 2 tablespoons of sugar. We're just going to stir that and let it activate. Now after a few minutes, it should start foaming like this. It was too much, so I had to reduce the quantity in another cup, so use a bigger cup for this. So when your yeast is activated, you're just going to pour that into your mixture, add in your remaining sugar. I used 2 cups for the whole paste, so add in your remaining sugar and stir that very well. So this paste, you're going to let it sit for about 1 hour so that it can double in size. If you're making a large batch like this, please use a bigger container. You can see I had to reduce mine because it was too much for the container. So now that it's ready, I took out my masa pan, and I'm just going to heat that and add very little oil, just about a teaspoon into each side. Now you should remember to stir your paste very well before scooping out so that it's going to mix well. So now you're going to start frying the masa by pouring the batter into the pan. Don't fill it up completely because it needs some space to swell when it starts cooking. So you're just going to pour that into all the spaces, and then let it cook for about 2 to 3 minutes on each side. When the edges start cooking, you can add groundnut oil or any kind of oil you're using to fry, and then you can use a wooden chopstick or a skewer to turn it. So this is how I like to do it. I just poke it into the middle or the edge, and then I turn the whole masa. It's easier that way for me. Some people like to use spoon for this process, so try it and see whichever one you're comfortable using, and then you can do it as well. So when you turn it, you're just going to let that fry again for about 2 to 3 minutes, or until it's golden brown, and then you can flip again to see if it's brown. So this is not brown enough. I let it brown more, and now it's cooked completely for me. So now it's ready for me to take it off heat. And that is how you can easily make masa at home using your non-stick masa pan. If you watch up to this point, guys, please consider subscribing for more related content and also give this video a thumbs up. So I'll just go ahead to continue frying my remaining batter, but first I have to clean all the pieces of masa that have stuck onto the pan just for ease of work, because when you pour in more batter it's going to stick with the old one and it won't look nice. Same thing, when you pour it, you can also clean all the batter that poured at the edges to make it clean and easy to turn. So the same way, just add a little oil on top of it when the edges have begin to cook, and then you can check after one few minutes, like 2 to 3 minutes, and then turn it. If it's cooked on the other side as well, then you can take it off heat. So that is how I make masa, and I hope you can follow this recipe as well to make a delicious masa for yourself. Now, masa can be enjoyed with vegetable soups mostly, or pumpkin soup. Now, I made pumpkin soup with some vegetables in it, and this is how my masa looks. It's so delicious. I'm going to leave the recipe for the soup as well, so please check back for the soup recipe, and I hope you enjoy making this. Bye.